And 1,000 welcomes to all you viewing from around the globe, wherever you are. Hope you're having a great day. And you are watching from Broken Worlds, where I train through injury to try to qualify for the 2027 World Masters Highland Games Championship. So right now, I'm on vacation in beautiful Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. And instead of going to a gym and trying to find a gym here to go to and break away from everybody, I'm traveling with family. And so instead of, me just going off to the gym by myself, I decided to bring resistance bands. And I brought 3 bands and a few other things. And basically a little drawstring bag my whole gym fits in. And so that'll be my gym for the next little while. We're in an Airbnb, and so I bought door anchors. And also I have fat grip, the smallest ones, and I use them as handles for some of the exercises. And that's basically my setup. So I started out doing sort of dynamic Highland Games focus. So the first few that you saw were simulating the shot put, or the stone put, sorry. And this is simulating the weight for distances. And so basically I took Highland Games events except for caber toss and weight over bar, because my back is getting a lot better, but it's still not 100%. So I didn't want to do the main movement that causes it annoyance. So yeah, here's weight for distance. I basically try to simulate as best I can with bands the different throws, and started out with that, and I think that's a good way to go. Keep my muscle memory, keep my nervous system primed for these kind of movements. Try to keep the explosiveness there. This is my simulation of a part of a hammer throw. And obviously it's not the full part. I'm just trying to prime my nervous system in particular. These aren't really getting me stronger or anything. It's just to remind my body that not to lose the ability to do the movements that I need to do. And also I find if I don't work explosively, I lose it pretty quickly. I don't know if it's my age or my genetics or some sort of combination of the two, but I lose it quickly. So I have to kind of just keep a little bit of explosiveness in my workout. So I'm not sort of building from scratch. So this is kind of simulating the sheaf toss with the pitchfork. I'm imagining a pitchfork in my hand and the sheaf on the end. So yeah, there might be better ways of doing it, but this is the ways that my imagination took me. And that's the thing with resistance bands, is it is it's a really imaginative form of working out. You can kind of simulate stuff. Honestly, the more I've used resistance bands, the more I like them. Is it as good as my home gym? Well, no. But it does well in a pinch, and it actually contributes a lot to my home gym. And very impressed with resistance band. I think they're kind of a slept-on piece of equipment in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people use them, so maybe that's not quite accurate, but at least in my circles, the circles I'm in, it is kind of slept on. This is a squat where I put the strap around my neck. That creates extra resistance. I'll never get like super strong at squats doing this. In fact, if I had much of a resistance strap, it would kind of annoy my neck, I think, it being wrapped around like that. So kind of looks like I'm wearing suspenders. But yeah, it's the resistance bands have been good. So my general approach is to kind of do movements that simulates the Highland games at first, and then do more compound movements and bodybuilding stuff afterwards. So that's my general approach. This was actually worked better than I thought. So you put the resistance band around your back and then hold it in your hands and then do push-ups. I found that worked a lot better than I was expecting. The good thing about it too, and it's kind of a bad thing, is that you can hold it in a place that makes, with the same band, which makes it harder than last time. So that's a good thing, and that's very resistance versatile. You can make it harder and easier using the same band. The bad thing about that is if you're looking at progression, like a linear progression or something like that, it's very difficult to do for most exercises with the resistance band. But yeah, doing some rows here. I'm right next to the ocean. Might as well practice rowing the boat. And yeah, you can see I kind of looped the resistance band around my wrist there to take up some of the slack, and it made the exercise more difficult. I found it kind of easy just holding on to the band. So yeah, looping them around. And I can loop them around so my hand grabs even further. I think I had a good placement here that, you know, it felt like I was working out the areas that I'm looking to work out. So these are more compound kind of movements, doing a full body kind of approach. And then I went more with a little more isolation after this, isolation work. I think I'll alternate the isolation work from upper body, which is kind of what I did today, to lower body. So I'll have to imagine different ways that I can set up stuff to work my lower body. But here you can see I'm working my biceps. Yeah, anybody that says resistance bands are as good as free weights or something like that, or even better, I've heard, not the case. It's, at least for me, it's not true. However, I can fit it in a bag. It went in my suitcase, flew across a whole continent with it, and it's like just a small bag that it all fits in. So for that kind of versatility and that kind of packability, it's an excellent mobile gym. And really, it's in a lot of ways limited by your imagination. And I really like training like that from time to time. I very stick to a form of training. So it's nice to have a more kind of freestyle thing while on vacation, I guess. Can kind of flow from one thing to the next, just kind of play with things until I find a good movement and then do that movement. So these aren't any highly imaginative movements at this point. The beginning, I think, was, but this is just some basic movement patterns. And then I moved into triceps here. And I think resistance bands were a great way to go about this vacation. And like I said, it's been great that I'm not leaving. I'm not trying to find a gym and leaving my family behind. I could just either wake up early and bust out some exercises, or while they're maybe having a nap, or whatever sort of happens, I'm able to exploit that. It's a very muggy day, so that's why I'm in my full glory here. My neon white suit. But it was really good workout, and my body feels much better for having done it. So the neat thing about bands too is you can do exercises that aren't anchored to anything. It just, I guess you can say it's anchored to both the hands. So this is kind of simulates lateral raise with the shoulders, and then these work the back delts. But you can see I can move from one thing to the next and do supersets and all this kind of stuff. You can do the same with dumbbells and whatnot, but worked out pretty good. Well, not much more to report on the exercises. I enjoying my vacation. I'm eating lots of good food in Charlottetown. We went to Nova Scotia first and took the ferry over to Charlottetown. Having a good time. So here I kind of show the equipment I'm using. This black thing is what anchors to the door. You just close the door on it. Then my 3 bands, I got thick, medium, and skinny. And then here's the fat grips that I put the resistance bands in.